revolutionary joy, lasting unity, and radical action amongst the people in resistance of our common enemy, U.S. imperialism.
Hello, my name is Wyatt and I am a member of Clownbloc. Our mission is to use clown and theater to resist U.S.-led war in all its forms. One such form is neoliberalism's attack on our social services and quality of life. Who's on food stamps? I know I am. Neoliberalism's goal is to privatize everything, taking the power from us and giving it to corporate oligarchs like Hillary Clinton serves. We may be clowns, but we know who the real clowns are. Clownbloc's membership is made up of artists, a sector that heavily depends on public funding and is chronically starved and repressed under neoliberalism. We are kept in constant competition, poverty, and servitude to the elite. Our work is controlled by big funders and we are forced to propagate their values rather than our own. Hillary Clinton's influence has done nothing but continue this trend. As First Lady, she led the Millennium Initiative, saying that we must do everything we can to strengthen our support for the arts and humanities, but all this program did was preserve select artistic and historical pieces that strengthen U.S. supremacy. These pieces include the Star-Spangled Banner at the Smithsonian and the re-encasement of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution at the National Archives. Boo! Under Bill Clinton, the National Endowment for the Arts budget was slashed. In 2016, the arts were nowhere to be found in Hillary's presidential platform. However, she was very vocal about prioritizing war, notably on holding China accountable and supporting Israel. Boo! Through imperial violence, the offensive against artists is happening globally and in ever-escalating forms. In the global north, the attacks range from economic precarity to censorship and surveillance. In the global south, artists face arrests, shutdowns, even disappearances, displacements, and killings. Across the map, we are all experiencing cultural erasure, historical distortion, and disinformation. Even though cultural work is under attack, we stand up and fight back. Alongside revolutionary artists all over the world, we struggle for people-led cultural work, which makes visible the people's struggles erased or distorted by mainstream media and institutions dominated by the ruling classes. We assert that it is our right to create our art on our own terms, not to use it to satisfy systems that oppress us. It is our right to create art that truly reflects our conditions and promotes our interests. And when needed, it is our duty to create art that builds a common language of resistance. When cultural work is under attack, what do? Stand up, fight back! Thank you all.
U.S. imperialist!
Number one terrorist!
U.S. imperialist!
Number one terrorist!
U.S. imperialist!
Number one terrorist!
Thank you, Wyatt. Clownbloc will be doing a performance for us later in the evening, so you have that to look forward to. Our next speaker is Adam from JVP, or Jewish Voice for Peace. Jewish Voice for Peace is part of a national organization building grassroots, multiracial, cross-class, intergenerational movement of U.S. Jews in solidarity with Palestinian freedom struggle. JVP seeks freedom for Palestinians as well as a home for Jews beyond the violence of Zionism. Welcome, Adam.
Hello. Hi, dear friends. We at Jewish Voice for Peace are so proud to join these speakers in condemning U.S. imperial violence and demanding an end to U.S.-supported violence in the Philippines and everywhere else. JVP Portland wishes you a blessed Sukkot, our ancient festival commemorating both harvest and exile when we gather under symbolic dwellings to celebrate our community and our history. We remember our millennia of wanderings, some of them voluntary pilgrimages, but many of them expulsions forced by the hand of empire. This year we celebrate Sukkot at the time when the state of Israel has permanently displaced the majority of the Palestinian population in Gaza. In the last year, Israel has directly murdered over 40,000 Palestinians, almost more than a third of them children, and its endless war has led to some 200,000 deaths in total. Most of these who survive now live in literal, not symbolic, tents, facing starvation, disease, and ceaseless bombings. Shame. Even now, we're hearing of the unceasing horrors in Jabalia refugee camp, where over 100,000 Palestinians living in 1 square mile are bombed, starved, and trapped with nowhere else to go. We must continue to see it clearly. Israel is committing genocide, and the Biden administration is fueling it. Are you against genocide? Hillary Clinton would tell you, as she did in May of 2024, that young people who support Palestinian life and liberation, quote, don't know very much at all about the history of the Middle East, or frankly about history in many areas of the world, including our own country. To which we say, we fucking know our history. For example, we know that Joe Biden has declared as far back as 1986, quote, were there not an Israel, the United States of America would have to invent an Israel to protect her interests in the region. The United States would have to go out and invent an Israel. Zionism may have originally been a misguided and dangerous response to the real problem of anti-Semitism, but now it is a wholly imperial project funded by U.S. Oh my God. Okay, thank you for having a backup. That's so good. All right, thanks y'all. But now it is a wholly imperial project funded by the U.S. military-industrial complex and 100 million apocalyptic Christians. But that doesn't sound as good as saying Israel exists to keep Jews safe, the lie Biden and Clinton and the majority of our elected officials keep repeating to distract us from the blood on their hands. We at JVP are proud Jews, and we know Jewish safety will never be found in the oppression of others. It will always come from solidarity with others, which is why we are so thrilled to be here tonight with you. Many Jews, including my own family, believe the lie that Israel keeps us safe. But that lie is beginning to falter as Israel commits atrocity after atrocity that even the most entrenched mind cannot justify. The reality of Israeli violence, and by extension the reality of all U.S. imperial violence, is shining through like never before. We aim to shake people free from Zionism and give them a community that truly sees all life as precious, even and especially the lives of those affected by U.S. imperial aggression. Lastly, did you know that the state of Oregon is invested directly in Israel? The public employee retirement system has over 1 million invested in Israel bonds. And if you're Jewish, you may also have Israel bonds in your own name. JVP is working with the coalition partners to divest from Israel. We invite you to join us in this work. Thank you all. From Palestine to the Philippines.
Stop the U.S. war machine!
From Palestine to the Philippines.
Stop the U.S. war machine!
Thank you all.
Thank you, Adam. Our next speaker is Cass. Cass sits on the Portland Coordinating Committee for the International League of People's Struggle, a global formation of people's organizations and movements that strives to realize the unity, cooperation, and coordination of anti-imperialist and democratic struggles around the world.
Thank you. As I said, my name is Cassius. I'm a member of the Portland Coordinating Committee of the International League of People's Struggle. We've heard from many speakers today describing how their fights and struggles for their people inevitably led them here to show Hillary Clinton and all appendages of U.S. imperialism that they are not welcome. No matter what sector we come from, be we migrant workers who are forced from our homelands, veterans who found ourselves fighting for the imperialists in wars we never wanted, citizens with family in Palestine, the Philippines, the Congo, who see our families being torn apart in the name of counterterrorism. No matter who or where we are here to say enough. These people, all of us, have the right and the duty to resist. The International Migrants Alliance is resisting. Veterans for Peace is resisting. The people of the Philippines and every group you heard from today, they are fighting back. They are struggling for the survival and the safety of their people. Our so-called leaders have the audacity to label resistance fighters as terrorists while funneling billions of our tax dollars every year to oppress and terrorize them and their communities. ILPS stands with these people and anti-imperialist movements all around the world in our campaign to defend people's struggle. We see through you, Clinton, Biden, Harris, these politicians, these tentacles of imperialism, showering us with false solutions in their presidential platforms, and we reject them. We know what is important to us, and we have developed our own platform, the People's Platform, created by the input of ILPS organizations and individual people all across the country to address just solutions to the real concerns of people, like health, housing, migration, national liberation, instead of endless imperialist war and increasingly repressive law enforcement. As ILPS, we take the strongest possible stance against the empty rhetoric of Clinton, Harris, and Walz, the outright fascism of Trump and Vance, and the apathy and hopelessness that they all want us to fall into. Come find me or any other ILPS member to talk about planning for a week of action over the upcoming election to show them that no matter who wins, these concerns will always be important to us, the people. And until they are resolved, we will never stop fighting. Long live
International solidarity!
Long live
International solidarity!
Thank you.